Baseball. I love baseball. And when I grew up, I loved baseball. Any game, anywhere, any two teams was all good for me.
And a high fly ball hit the right field. It is very deep. It's way back by the wall. It's a home run! A home run! And it's football!
My team was the New York Mets. I grew up watching guys like Darryl Strawberry, Dwight Gooden, Gary Carter, Mookie Wilson, Keith Hernandez, and Tim Tuffle. He was my favorite. And old relatives of mine would tell me stories of their heroes. Guys like Jackie Robinson, Willie Mays, and Pee Wee Reese. I guess you can say no one in my family liked the Yankees. But one of my relatives, who grew up on the west side of Manhattan back in the 1930s and 40s, told me his stories of playing a slightly different game, stickball. Much like baseball in principle, but easier and certainly cheaper to play. All you needed was a ball, a broken broomstick, and a street to play on. And he would tell me, back in a time long before the internet and cell phones, stickball was everywhere. An extremely well-organized, vast network of teams who would play each other again and again, and often all day long. They played hard. They were tough. The stakes were a lot higher than anything I ever knew when I was a kid. And there was one more thing he told me about these guys. In Sunnyside, Queens, on a quiet side street, just off the 7 train, on its way to Shea Stadium, on any given summer Sunday, these same guys from the same teams in old neighborhoods are still out there and still play ball!
Big time stickball. Our neighborhood. These were the old guys. The tough.
Hold up, Joey.
Guy, Primo.
Slick! You know me, come on.
He's a father. This is bad. I can't run. And there's no worry about what.
This is the Iona Athletic Club. We get together and we play every Sunday stickball. Usually at about 10 o'clock every Sunday, we're down at the field. We meet down there, play a couple of games, work out, amongst each other, and then come back here and have something to eat.
Well, it gives you a chance to hang out with the old friends.
Right, right.
Stickball is really a game that was developed in New York City. It's a street game. It's not very expensive to play. You use a broomstick from a broom and a rubber ball, and that's all you needed.
A simple game. It's almost like baseball. You have home plate right here, it's first base. This is second base. This is third base, and the pitcher pitches from this line towards home plate. One bounce, one swing, one bounce.
No balls or strikes, just one swing.
And you have to, when you hit the ball, if you hit the ball, you run the bases.
And after that, the rules are pretty much like baseball, except there's no stealing and no bunting.
And some streets, depending on the parking, you had to run between cars, and you also had to deal with traffic coming up the street or down the street.
That's a hazard.
So they used to usually get cones and block it off, but in the old days they might have used wooden horses or something like that.
It was existing when I remember watching stickball games when I was 6 years old. And that's 65 years at least.
In the beginning, stickball was the name of the game. It was started like in the 30s, I believe, on the west side. and it was like a poor man's game.
Stickball was conducive to the city. People didn't have cars. We weren't going to the beaches. We weren't going on vacations. So everything happened in the street. So you developed games that were conducive to the street, and stickball became one of the more famous ones. And in our neighborhood, probably when I was growing up, the biggest game in the city.
We're from 67 and 69th Street.
In West End.
West End. Almost 100% of us came from that area. We're all from there. Almost all neighbors from the mothers and fathers of that neighborhood, all from the same neighborhood, Sandrinad and places like that, all close by, all from there. In them days, when our parents came from the other side, they all migrated to that one street, 69 and 68.
And within our one city block, we had 4 teams, competitive teams that played one another. The Aces, the Bengals, the Saxons, and the Bugs.
Every Sunday there was a game going on every street.
And it would pretty much go on until the kids were like made to go inside, right?
Well, it was started at 9 o'clock in the morning and finished up 6 o'clock at night.
Would it be the kind of thing where like the parents like scream out the windows like, hey, come on,
Oh,
get in.
yeah, beat the pots, come on up for dinner. Nah, the kids would just continue to play ball.
How long we playing ball together, Joey?
Since
Well, I was already playing 52, 51. You probably were 49.
no,
49, 50.
49, I was only 10.
Well, you in the playground, you and Herbie Wiedemann. That's when I had my eye on him and I said he's ready for the big team. And we would play teams from other blocks our age, and the older guys would play their older guys. So pretty much every block had a team.
How'd you all know about all these teams? Like, how did that work back in those days?
Word of mouth. You know, there's a team on 43rd Street, and you'd find a way to get in touch with them. And you wound up walking down to the particular fields.
You end up playing teams in the Bronx. We even used to go down to Mott Street. We played down in Mott Street. We didn't have no internet like they have today. In earlier days, we didn't have telephones. So you learn from another team, you hear about them. Then that team will tell some other team, and then you book a game and you get together, and then you'll find out from another team that they knew, and you end up finding them out, and then you play them. Then all of a sudden you're playing teams all over the city.
All the teams were very, very competitive and hated to lose. So there was a constant argument.
So it would get serious sometimes.
Got real serious.
But we never had a fight.
We never argue, yes, never. Nobody ever raised their hands. And after that, they'd come down to our bar and drink.
Saturdays and Sundays, forget about it. That's all we did was play ball all the time. That's the way it was. That's the way it was.
Yeah. And so what happened though?
And
Like, you
everything
guys used to
there,
play there,
no,
and then you can't do it?
everything was torn down.
Everything
All-
was torn down.
Yeah.
Metropolitan came in and took out all the...
Lincoln Center is
yeah, all
there,
that.
and Juilliard School of Music is there now, and all the Coldwater Flats were torn down, and that's where we're from.
Yeah.
People moved to the Bronx,
Yeah.
people moved to Queens,
Lots of
Long
people,
Island. A
yeah.
lot of people just scattered. Some people stayed there, and
Some diehards, they just
this
wouldn't leave
wa-
that neighborhood.
They wouldn't leave there, and we were paying $25 a month rent, and now they're paying $2,500.
In the city, which was a lot closer to where we played ball, and the neighborhood, they tore down the last few buildings that were available for us to play ball. So we moved it out to Queens, where we are now, of course, which had an affiliation with a bunch of guys we played with in the city who already had a club out here.
Well, it's just a clubhouse, and just about everybody from the club, except for a few young guys, all from the old neighborhood.
So are you like a member of this club here, or are you just
Absolutely.
I called Jimmy. Jimmy said...
Since 2003. Although these guys have been together, I don't know how long.
So our neighborhood had started to split up so much, and people were going all over the country, Florida, the Carolinas, way out in the island. So we said, you know, let's have a day for the old neighborhood. Well, this is something we started about 7, 8 years ago to get all the people from our old neighborhood out to see one another, to see their children, their grandkids, and their friends' kids and grandkids. So we decided to do this. It was successful, and we just keep it going now. We have it once a year, and it's always a great time.
This is just a reunion. Reunion, bringing all the West Side people together, as many as people can make it.
I have to get my good side.
Bill Burney and Fonzo Ferrara.
That's it.
Two great stickball players.
Thank you.
Real old timers.
How old are you? Tell them. 91.
I'm 91 going on 2.
It keeps the old guys young, and the younger kids see it, and they see how friendships go on through the years and how you can remain friends. And I think it's something we pass on.
Can you get on?
We did it to bring back all the neighborhood and to really start to meet the grandchildren of the guys I play ball with. Larry, Primo, my brother.
These are my nephews. They're right in here too. These all Rupos here, almost. Right here.
You know, you don't see their kids growing up, so it was a way to meet the entire families again. That was the basic principle of doing it at the beginning.
Not to mention just keep playing ball, right?
And keep playing ball, because that's the #1 desire, to keep playing.
We're taking this cup.
Get the ice on. We need all those cups and a keeper on this.
Today is Ray Murray Day. It's Ray Murray in honor of our president, who recently passed.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was president over there, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
for like 45 years.
Did he play when he was around?
Yeah, he played. He was a real good ball player, too.
And we're just honoring his memory with a nice big festival.
Hey man, you need another case of beer, don't you?
Everything is sponsored by our owner club. Everyone brings their families.
All the girls, that's the families coming out. See?
Let's go Yankees!
Larry's here.
There you go. You want? Hey, you ready? Next punch.
See all that
I
hugging?
brought it back to Mario. I'm gonna leave you.
Time.
So, are you gonna be playing an actual game today, or is it gonna be?
Yes, we will be.
So, what you writing down there on the pavement there?
This is the lineup for the guys from the West Side.
You gonna play?
Gonna try.
You gonna play?
We play one game and then turn it over to the kids.
You gonna play some stickball today?
Yeah. Hopefully I hit the ball.
You gonna play today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing with us.
You gonna play soon?
I'll play.
You're gonna tear this place up.
I don't think I'll beat these guys. No way.
And those guys, when they used to play, they were tough too, weren't they?
Oh yeah. Back in the day, these guys, they would slide on the concrete if they had to, whatever it was. They didn't care. It was good. These guys are good. You'd be surprised.
Are you saying they're sliding then? They're still sliding now.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, they don't care.
That's years of practice, man. They'll slide. They will dive for the ball.
They'll sacrifice their body. Me, I'll think twice. These guys, they go right down,
They're tough.
I tell you, they're really, when you play for 40, 50 years, you're definitely going to have a zest for the game. So they play their hearts out, man.
So we got to get on with our game.
All right, we're gonna be doing it. Are you guys gonna play?
Yeah, we're gonna play now.
It's a nice, fun day. So come drink, be merry.
You guys getting all pumped up for today?
Play ball!
Gonna show these guys how to play now?
Yeah, we're gonna teach them a lesson today.
What's the score now?
2-0. The bad guys.
What inning is it right now?
Top of the 7th.
Top of the 7th. What's the score?
It should be. It's 2-1 hours. It should be like this should be the last inning, but these guys cheat. They want to play 9 innings now.
That's it.
9 innings, right?
Yeah, we're going to play 9 today.
They want to play 9 innings.
It's
yeah?
stuff they do all the time. We're almost there. We're almost there. Heads up, guys.
I know you threw the ball in a little hard, boy. You know what I mean? You got better than doing.
Hey, you're whacking that ball, boy.
These guys, they know how to cheat.
Good boy, Nicky.
Good game, Nicky.
Hey, good.
Good game. Good game. Bounce of the ball. Really good game, Tony. Good game. Let's see.
I got the meatball.
It's homemade spaghetti, by the way, boys. Homemade.
This is homemade too?
That's homemade. Yeah, this is homemade.
Nice.
Just made. Yeah, we all, everybody does something. That's Billy comes with the salad.
So what'd you cook? Did you cook something?
My wife did that.
Oh, she made
Meatballs, the meatballs and sauce.
How is it? It's good, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you taste it right
Why don't
now.
you jump in there?
How's that? What do you
Jump in,
think?
get
You're
some.
only here to take pictures? Hey, you decide. Get over here.
So what happened out there?
We lost. We lost, so I guess that makes it. I hate to lose, but it was just fun.
It was 2-1. It was a good game. It was a good game. But the bad guys won.
Yeah, the bad guys won. That's good. How do you think you did today?
We did okay. We won.
Yeah. How was the game? How do you think you did?
The game was good. We won 2-1, which is a rarity because we don't usually win when we come out here.
Well, we lost 2-1.
What happened?
But they cheated us a little bit. You know, that pitcher over there was showing like he was playing baseball. We're playing stickball. It's slot ball.
Oh, so you said something different.
Now they're going to play a 5-inning game.
No, which guys are going to be playing?
Well, the same team. Same teams.
Got it.
If they're not too full with the food.
Today was a great day. We're always blessed with great weather, and we had another great day. I think everybody had a lot of fun.
But it's what it's all about. That's what's more important than winning and losing. Seeing the family, all the families from the old neighborhood. We all enjoy it.
Seeing old friends, their children, their grandchildren meeting other children their age, and they become friends, and the tradition goes on.
My son's out there playing right now, so it's nice to show him.
Pass on that sort of
Yeah. You know, if you see a kid 6-year-olds doing it, you know, he's learning. Just to get out and run and play, it's fun. It's fun.
Check it out.
Wow, good shot.
Just to get together, you know, get the people together to come down. It brings you back to those times.
We had another great day, and we'll do it again. And I would hope 60 years from now, when their grandchildren reach my age, that they'll be here having a day like we're having and continue to pass on this great tradition of stickball. I hope they do, and if they are, I'll be smiling down at them.
Get the longest line drive and stickball.
Hey, Kirsten, you...
That was rule the double.
We settled for a double.
That was
Go
double?
in,
It was a cab rule double? Is that right?
We had to make rules because of that, because of the traffic. You know, nobody called timeout, so we settled for a double instead of home run.
Right.
That was a Saxons thing.
Yeah,
That was later on.
They were later on. They were rich kids later on.
We were the pool guys. We were the pool team.
The only thing today, there's no more money involved.
That's right.
We just play for the fun of the game now.
And after the game, they come to the
We
club.
take it to
Wait, so if I wanted to bring some bookies, that would probably be a bad thing, right?
Not bad unless they're betting.
They're betting on the side.
No, we'd rather you bring a bunch of guys that want to play stickball.